Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra annual calendar. You can see the stainless steel 150 meter rated annual calendar on our website watchyouvant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional high-res images, accessories included, and naturally complete pricing information. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this model, which debuted at Baselworld 2010, is full-sized, some might even say on the verge of oversized, but it wears nicely in proportion to a normal-sized wrist, even a smaller wrist. Well, my wrist is 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. I have no doubt that this watch could be worn securely and with a great sense of proportion, even on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters. Now, it does have impressive heft. The combination of automatic winding and an annual calendar module gives the watch a little bit of thickness, and that creates a deeper lug, a deeper flank, and just a little bit more stainless steel, so that on the wrist it feels closer to a precious metal watch than one made of steel. Now, it's not terribly thick. It's actually 14.5 millimeters thick, but combined with the generously sloped conical bezel, this is actually a fairly easy watch in spite of the nominal measurement to fit underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff. It does give the cuff an up and over as it climbs the bezel. Now from lug to lug, it's fairly substantial. 51.5 millimeters is on the larger end of the scale, but again, because of the shape of the lugs, they do work nicely even on my smaller wrist, and I have no doubt down to 15 centimeters, this watch will wear securely. Now in terms of the strap and the clasp, what really sets this watch apart is the use of a matte rectangular scale alligator leather. Normally a material used in conjunction with a shiny finish, what sets this one apart is that it is subdued, and it's a nice match for the grayscale tones of the watch, especially that teak deck concept dial. Now on the underside, it is a high quality calfskin, very supple, and it has a little bit of bolstering, a little bit, as it approaches the lugs, just for a smoother visual transition. But you can see that using traditional straight spring bars, Omega makes it possible to pull the strap straight down around the tight curve of a smaller wrist, so it's easy to fit this one, again, thanks to a few smart measures by the design team on a smaller wrist. Now the clasp is a familiar sight to those who are well versed in late model Omega. Features a combination of twin trigger deploy in action and a smart strap minder system. So when the strap is actually buckled on your wrist, it tucks the excess underneath the clasp, so there are no strap minder loops on the strap itself. Those tend to age faster than the straps generally, so they tend to be the limiting factor for strap life. Here, that system's simply been eliminated with a underlying tuck system beneath a gorgeous and very secure twin trigger deployant. Now the dial itself is the teak deck concept, first introduced at Baselworld 2008 on the Aqua Terras. Just for reference, the Aqua Terra is sort of the surf-turf family within the Seamaster genre. The Seamasters in the 300 meter class are the entry-level pure sports watches, the dive watches that Omega sells, and the Planet Oceans are the pure dive watches at the top of the line. They're the more premium watches, more complex movements, a little bit larger, a little bit more finely finished, with Omega exclusive calibers not seen on the 300s. But the Aqua Terra line, first launched in the early 2000s, is a sportsman's watch that can really work both ways. For dress or leisure, it has robust water resistance with 150 meter water resistance in this case, but it doesn't feature a rotating bezel, it doesn't feature a helium relief valve. What it lacks perhaps in outright utility, it makes up in elegance and versatility. And you can see that right here. Now the teak deck dial has beautiful texture to it. It has a powerful vertical striation that lends a lot of character to the dial. Now there's a smooth minute track outboard, so the dial does really read as an inner disc and an outer rehaut. What's really nice is that in this case, again, an upscale edition of the Seamaster family, compared to the Planet Oceans or the 300s, what you're looking at are white gold hands and indices. So that's a notable refinement exclusive to the Aqua Terras. What you're also looking at is a beautiful combination of fully loomed hands, including a broad arrow minute and indices. So while the watch is a bit of a dressier Seamaster, it is nevertheless hugely visible in low or no light. And speaking of practicality, this one features a complication you will use daily. Never mind the helium escape valves of the other watches. This is what you want. A day, or rather a month and a date, driven by an annual calendar. Now it's driven by the caliber 8601. dual barrel, coaxial escapement, amagnetic SI-14 hairspring with a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance to shake off shock-induced timing variations. It's coaxial, it's also a chronometer, and when you pull the crown, you do stop the balance, hack the seconds, allowing precise synchronization to a known accurate reference time. Now with the annual calendar refinement, the watch, which features twin mainspring barrels and a 55-hour power reserve, only requires correction once per year during the transition from February to March. There's a tremendous amount of exclusive content in this movement, which is used only by Omega throughout the Swatch Group. The watch itself is simply a masterclass of engineering and a masterclass of design. To have both in a single timepiece from one of the best players in the business and quite arguably one of the most impressive brand resurgences of the last 20 years is simply manna from heaven for watch collectors. This is a handsome watch that'll go as well in a business suit as it will in a bathing suit, and it can be yours on our website, watchyouwant.com.